In the year my family went bankrupt, I accepted the large check from my boyfriend's mother. 3 years later, I returned to my country, and my boyfriend and I were back together as if nothing had changed. But it was easy to get back together. It wasn't the same as before. Everyone said I was his white moonlight, the person he'd always longed for and swore to marry. But only I knew he had already fallen for the girl who had replaced me during the 3 years I was gone. I watched as he unknowingly grew fond of the girl who resembled me. I didn't cry or make a scene, because what he didn't know was, I was already terminally ill. Every day he spent with her, I silently counted how many days I had left to live. On the day I reunited with Wade after returning home, I knew he'd found a girl who resembled me during my absence. Her name was Sophia, lively, cheerful, and looked about 70% like me. She was the kind of girl Wade liked. The type one was before my family went bankrupt. But unfortunately, I was no longer that innocent, carefree girl. I had lost the right to be naive. During the 3 years I was away, Sophia had stayed by Wade's side. Wade and I grew up together. Apart from me, she was the only woman Wade had kept around for 3 years. My friends told me how Wade had pined for Sophia during the years I was gone. Thank goodness I was back and Wade had finally waited for the one he truly wanted. Is that really the case? I smiled but didn't say a word. The first time I met Sophia was the day Wade proposed to me. I had a nosebleed since morning, something I had grown used to over the past 3 years. While I was abroad, I had received conservative treatment for 3 years, but my condition hadn't improved at all. The doctor said I'd probably only live until next summer. I nodded, strangely comforted by it. At least I'd get to see spring before I died. I wasn't afraid of death. I was just afraid Wade would be uncomfortable without me around. But now, it seemed like I had overestimated my importance. Wade said he had a surprise for me that evening, so I came to the office to find him. I just happened to run into Sophia, who had known Wade since university. Now, having graduated, she worked as his secretary. Wade was in a meeting and I sat outside waiting for him. Sophia kept staring at me until she felt my gaze and quickly looked away. She poured me a glass of water and quietly said, "Please wait a moment, miss. It's normal if you're not aware, but Mr. Wade is in a meeting every day at this time. Since you just returned, I understand it might be unfamiliar." Yes, I hadn't been home for 3 years, and everything had changed. In the past, I would drag Wade away from his meetings regardless of whether or not he was busy. But now, everything had changed. The colleagues around us were secretly whispering, glancing at Sophia and me. She really does look a lot like her. That's right. I heard Sophia only stayed as Wade's secretary because she looked like his girlfriend. Their conversation reached both Sophia and my ears. People used to say I looked like you. Today, I finally meet the real deal. But honestly, I don't think we look that much alike. Sophia smiled, but there was no warmth in her eyes. The bright glass reflected my pale face and lifeless lips, while she smiled confidently, looking young and full of life. Indeed, we didn't look alike. Sophia was beautiful and full of life while I was slowly dying. Does this mean Wade really can't forget his girlfriend? Of course. I've heard Wade really loves his girlfriend. The colleagues continued their gossip in what they thought was a discreet manner. When I heard them talk about how much Wade loved me, I saw a flash of jealousy in Sophia's eyes. Speaking of which, today's a big day. Wade is going to propose to you. These past few days, I've been with Wade rehearsing for proposals. I'm almost tired of it. I wonder if my future boyfriend will mind, since I've already agreed to dozens of proposals before even being proposed to myself. She smiled sweetly, her eyes shaped like pretty crescents, just like I used to be. I thought for a moment Sophia must have said that on purpose to get under my skin. No wonder I hadn't seen Wade much these past few days. He must have been spending time with Sophia. I felt a wave of disgust when I realized that my proposal ceremony was one that Wade and a girl who looked so much like me had rehearsed again and again. I couldn't help but wonder, when Wade proposed to Sophia, who was he thinking about? Me or Sophia standing in front of him? I thought carefully Wade was different with Sophia. In the past, when Wade and I fought, he would find other girls just to make me jealous. But none of them were like Sophia. And during the 3 years I was away, Wade hadn't just found Sophia as a replacement. There were other women who looked or acted similarly to me, but he never stayed with any of them for long. Maybe 1 or 2 days, or 3 or 4, but he always switched to someone new. But with Sophia it was different. She had stayed the entire time. I looked at Sophia, smiled, and gently thanked her. Thank you for playing my role these past few days, for selecting the perfect proposal for me. And thank you for taking care of my boyfriend these 3 years. From now on, please stay as far away from him as possible. But it wasn't just these few days. She had been my replacement for the whole 3 years. Sophia's face changed suddenly. She became furious and whispered, "The one who isn't loved is the real replacement. It's not certain who the real replacement is. If Wade truly loved you, he wouldn't have come looking for me. Just wait and see." The colleagues nearby who had been eavesdropping quickly rushed over to pull Sophia away, probably fearing that the situation would escalate. Sophia, perhaps hurt by my words, refused to leave with the colleagues. In the midst of the quarrel, Sophia accidentally tripped and fell. She was wearing a short black skirt, and when she fell, the fabric tore apart. "Ah!" Sophia screamed. Wade, who had been in the meeting room, rushed out as soon as he heard her cry. Everyone watched him. He tossed the papers in his hands and hurried over. Then he took off his suit jacket and covered it over her legs. He looked up coldly. "Who did this?" I watched his delicate and tender actions towards Sophia, and only a blind person wouldn't see how much Wade cared for her. The colleagues who had been pushing Sophia around looked terrified. I didn't want those girls to lose their jobs, so I stepped forward and said, "It was me." "Lucy, what are you doing here?" Wade only then noticed I was here too. How ridiculous. I had been standing here for so long, but it was only when he was focused on Sophia that he finally saw me. Sophia, probably afraid I would reveal something, quickly stood up and said, "Wade, please don't misunderstand. It's all my fault. It's because I accidentally let it slip that you were going to propose to her tonight, and Miss Lucy got upset." Listen to her. Her words were so well crafted. If it weren't for the timing, I would have applauded her for being so clever. In just one sentence, she put herself in the weaker position. After hearing her words, Wade gently zipped up her jacket and comforted her. "It's okay. I know you didn't mean it." He then turned to look at me. "Lucy, you really should calm down. I was always going to propose to you tonight." It sounded as though I was the one with a narrow mind, deliberately making trouble for Sophia. But what about the proposal? Wasn't it something Wade had rehearsed with someone who looked like me over and over again? I stood there, watching my boyfriend, who was also my fiancé, blame me. He and another woman standing together perfectly matched. He truly was different with her. I lowered my eyelids, not wanting to see their perfect pairing, and simply said to Wade, "You said you had a surprise for me tonight, so I came to find you." I just didn't expect that before the evening came, I'd receive such a huge surprise. Wade had always been so kind to me. In the past, no matter what I did, whether it was my fault or not, he never blamed me. Even when I left him and went abroad for 3 years, he never said a harsh word to me. But this time he stood there and softly said, "What happened between us is ours alone, but right now you need to apologize to Sophia." Sophia? So affectionate. Sophia stood beside Wade, calmly watching me. The Wade who couldn't even bring himself to say a harsh word to me now wanted me to apologize to Sophia. He wouldn't even let us explain what had happened. This was the first time that he asked me to bow my head for another woman. I suddenly felt dizzy, my vision spinning as I looked at the floor. What surprise? What proposal? I didn't want any of it. I suddenly became curious. Wade ... One day after I die. When you realize that while you were protecting Sophia, I was enduring excruciating pain all over my body. What will your expression be then? I walked home alone, the cold winter wind hitting me. Actually, Wade was going to chase after me when I left. But Sophia stopped him. "Wade, I think I twisted my ankle when I fell just now. It hurts so much I can't walk." I knew she was lying. But Wade believed her and stayed behind. "Go home first. Sophia's foot hurts, and I'll take her to the hospital." Take her to the hospital? What about me? When I collapsed from the pain, who would take me to the hospital? I stumbled back home and collapsed onto the sofa. I didn't know if I had fallen asleep or passed out. When I woke up, it was already night. Wade still hadn't returned. Could Sophia's minor injury really take this long to treat? I woke up and stared out the window at the city lights, sitting there in the dark, until I heard the sound of Wade unlocking the door. "You're home. Why isn't the light on?" With a click, Wade turned on the light. The bright chandelier hurt my eyes, and after so long in the darkness, the sudden light felt blinding. Tears slid down my face. He frowned and gently wiped away my tears. Why are you crying? Is it because I wasn't nice to you today or because I didn't see you home? Seeing that I didn't answer, Wade pulled me into his arms. Is it because of Sophia? Don't take it out on her. She's just a little loud, and though she doesn't always think things through, she means no harm. My tears fell harder. I tried to swallow the lump in my throat. No, it's just that the light is too bright. Wade stood up and dimmed the light slightly. Then he sat back down and took a ring from his pocket. I originally wanted to give you a grand proposal today, but unfortunately, time didn't allow. I quietly watched the massive diamond ring in Wade's hand. I slowly raised my hand, intending to take the ring. Suddenly, Wade's phone rang. I saw that it was Sophia calling. Wade hesitated, but after a moment he answered. I heard Sophia's voice, choked with sobs. Wade, where are you? I woke up and it was already dark and you're gone. Wow, the hospital is so scary at night. I'm so afraid. Could you come and keep me company? Wade didn't agree. He just looked at me awkwardly and said, Sophia is very strong. She's not someone who cries easily. If she's asking for my help, it must be because she's really scared. It seemed he forgot. I'm also afraid of the dark. A long time ago, he used to hold me tightly every dark night, driving away my fear. I knew Wade wanted to go. If his heart isn't here, what use is it for me to stay? I smiled faintly. Go ahead, I'm fine. Wade looked at me gratefully, picked up his phone and said to Sophia, I'll come right over to keep you company. As I watched his retreating figure, I picked up the ring that hadn't been put on and slowly slipped it onto my finger. I heard my own soft voice echo in the empty house. I do. The proposal was incomplete. I felt a sharp pain throughout my body. I wrapped myself tightly in the blanket. I told myself, sleep, once you fall asleep, the pain will go away. In my half-conscious state, I had a dream. I dreamt of a time before my family went bankrupt, before I fell ill. Back then, Wade and I were childhood sweethearts from well-off families. Wade always told me he would give me a romantic proposal and a grand wedding in the future. He said I was the best girl in the world and deserved everything good in this world. He would present the world to me, and all I had to do was reach out and take it. I would always smile and say, I'll wait for you. Wade, I always believed in you, but you broke your promise. It wasn't until this moment that I clearly realized Wade truly doesn't love me anymore. No matter how much he says otherwise, no matter how happy he seems to have me back, his actions cannot lie. He has already fallen in love with my replacement Sophia. The next day, a news headline, Pay Group CEO's ex and new love fight on public, trended online. Below was a photo of me watching Sophia fall in Wade's company, and another one of Wade carrying Sophia to the hospital. I woke up to countless missed calls, my head pounding even more. I didn't answer a single call. I just stared at the trending news in a daze. This was the first time Wade had made it onto the news, but the photo wasn't of the two of us. The Pay family's company had developed rapidly over the years, becoming very powerful locally. Wade, handsome and from a wealthy family, was quite famous online. But Wade was first known on the internet because of his relationship with me. I remember the first news was two major groups in alliance, when I accidentally got photographed with Wade at the beginning of our relationship. Later came Pay CEO drinks late into the night, when Wade was caught drinking after I left for abroad. I never imagined that one day his name would be associated with another woman's, becoming widely known. The pain in my body intensified, and I couldn't tell whether it was my physical pain or the emotional pain spreading through me. I stepped outside, intending to go to the hospital, but to my surprise, the address had been leaked, and there were several reporters waiting outside. One reporter asked, "Miss, do you have anything to say about Wade and Sophia's situation?" I didn't want to deal with them, so I just kept walking. The first reporter, seeing I didn't answer, chased after me and kept asking, "Miss, I've heard that you and Sophia are both Wade's ex and new love, and that you two look so alike. Netizens are calling her your substitute. What do you think about that?" Ex, new love, white moonlight, those terms collided. No wonder it caused such a stir online. Then, are you the ex or the new love? I've heard you disappeared after your family's bankruptcy, but now you've come back. Are you the one who's meddling between them? The word meddling pierced my ears deeply. When did my relationship with Wade become something that could be described as meddling? I calmly answered, I did leave for a while, and Wade did indeed spend time with Sophia, but now I'm with Wade. If there's any meddling, it's Sophia. After all, Wade and I never said we broke up. If there's a third party, it's her. When the reporters heard me speak, they all rushed forward with their cameras, excited to get more footage. Are you saying that Sophia is the mistress? Then why did you leave? Wade's late-night drinking photos are still out there. If you didn't abandon him, why would he be drinking at night? Some reporters asked aggressively. Why? Because I had just found out I was terminally ill. I realized I was dying. I called Sophia the third party, and this video quickly spread online. The comments were explosive. She left for 3 years, and now says she didn't break up. She's the real mistress. I think this Lee Jiaoyun isn't as pretty as Shen Yunyan. Yeah, Wade must still love Sophia. This white moonlight doesn't seem so great. What makes her worth Wade's obsession? In the video, I looked pale and frail, like I was already at death's door. It was filmed when I was about to leave for the hospital. I hadn't even had time to put on makeup or drink water that morning. I hadn't eaten dinner the previous night either. Of course, I didn't look good. Who's pretty before they die? Actually, this situation was quite ironic. That year, my family had just gone bankrupt. Wade's mother found me and gave me a check for 5.5 million, gently suggesting that I leave. Of course, I refused. Before all this, Wade's mother had always been very pleased with me. Every time she saw me, she called me Lucy. She often said, "When you two get married, I'll be at ease. I've seen you both grow up together. As a daughter-in-law, I recognize no one but you." When she handed me the check, she gently held my hand and said, "I know, you're a good girl. You and Wade have been together since childhood. You've been dating early and I've always known. Auntie really likes you. I've always been sure you two would end up together." Then she changed her tone. "Lucy, you're a good girl, and so is Wade. Auntie doesn't want to say too much, but you two really aren't suited anymore. Take this money and go abroad to study. Don't come back." I knew what she meant. My father was sick and passed away, my family went bankrupt, and my mother was devastated and followed him to the grave. What was once a large Lee family was now just me. Now, someone like me was no match for Wade. No matter what, I still didn't want to leave him. "I won't leave," I said through tears. I really loved Wade, and I wanted to spend my life with him. I believed he felt the same, so I was willing to take a chance to fight for it. But his mother didn't say anything. She just placed the check down and turned to leave. Maybe she was sure I wouldn't resist the temptation of 5 million. Or maybe she thought our relationship wasn't that deep, or thought I was just trying to get more money. I saw Wade's mother leave, so I grabbed the check and chased after her. But as soon as I stood up, I collapsed. When I woke up, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had been unconscious for 3 whole days. During those 3 days, Wade had caused quite a stir in the city. His mother told him I left after receiving the check and went abroad. Wade couldn't reach me, so he reluctantly accepted that explanation. Then he drowned himself in partying and drunken nights. If it had just been about bankruptcy, I would have stayed by Wade's side no matter what. But now, I didn't even know how many years I had left to live. Wade's mother was right. I wasn't worthy of him anymore. I didn't tell anyone and secretly bought a ticket to go abroad. I still wanted to try once more to grasp this final hope. But it was all in vain. After 3 years of treatment, my condition hadn't improved at all. Then, this autumn, the doctor told me that I probably wouldn't make it past next summer. It turned out, I really was dying. It wasn't until the shadow of death fully descended on me that I realized just how much I loved Wade. In my final days, I wanted to be with him. So, I came back to the country. Wade was overjoyed at my return, not even asking where I had been or why I left. I originally wanted to tell him, but then I thought there was no need. After all, I was already dying. I'd swallow this sorrow by myself, without burdening him with it. I had planned to stay by his side in my last moments, to create at least one final sweet memory for us, so that our love would have an ending. But now I changed my mind. They all say I'm Wade's white moonlight. Indeed, white moonlight should only remain in memories. If I continue to stay here, it would only ruin the image of the young man who once loved me with all his heart. I was going to leave, but before I went, I needed to take back something that belonged to me. My father had always liked Wade, but he left so suddenly, never even seeing me marry. He used to be very optimistic about us, saying he was at ease handing me over to Wade. Back then, my father wasn't sick, I wasn't ill, and Wade and I were still deeply in love. My father gave me a pair of rings, saying they were from his mother. I gave one ring to Wade. I had naively thought we would be together forever. Wade took the one that was meant for me, the women's ring, and left the men's ring behind. He said he wanted us to keep each other's rings, so we would always remember each other. He said whenever I wasn't there, he would hold the ring, and it would feel like I was by his side. He wanted to always have me with him. Even during those 3 years when I was away, that ring stayed with Wade. That was a ring my father had given to me, meant to be passed on to the person I would spend my life with. I never had the chance to grow old with Wade. So now, I was going to take that ring back. I would take both rings with me and bury them in my grave. When I arrived at the hospital, I saw Wade feeding Sophia. When he saw me, he quickly put down the bowl in his hand and hurried to explain. "Lucy, don't misunderstand. She just got injured." Sophia had injured her foot, not her hand. And honestly, that minor injury didn't require several days in the hospital. "Yes, Lucy, you mustn't misunderstand Wade. He was just helping me because I can't use my hands." Shen Yunyan was there too, pretending to apologize, but her face was full of smug satisfaction. She smiled so brightly, of course. She had one. The one Wade liked was her. I didn't say a word, didn't ask anything. I just stared at Wade's empty hands. "My ring?" I frowned and asked. When did it disappear from his hands without me noticing? "What ring? Is this it?" Sophia raised her right hand and I saw my ring on her finger. "So this is Lucy's ring? No wonder it's a women's ring." I saw Wade casually toss it on the table earlier and I tried it on. "You know what? It fits me quite well," Sophia said with an innocent face. I clenched my teeth. This was the first time I raised my voice and questioned Wade sharply. "How dare you let her wear my ring?" "That was mine. My father gave it to me." Wade hurriedly took the ring off Sophia's hand. I just took it off to wash my hands and left it on the table by accident. I forgot about it. I didn't think Sophia would put it on. It's not a big deal, is it? It's just a ring. She didn't break it. I interrupted him through gritted teeth. It's not just a ring. That was given to me by my father. At that moment, I was completely heartbroken. It wasn't just a ring. He had once treasured that ring so much. He wouldn't let anyone touch it, and now he was saying it was just a ring. I was furious, but I still heard Sophia mumbling. "Why make a big deal out of it? It's just a ring from a dead person. She really thinks of herself as a princess, doesn't she? Can't let anyone touch anything." I couldn't take it anymore. Before she finished speaking, I slapped her across the face. Sophia screamed and cursed me. "Are you crazy? Just for a broken ring?" She quickly snatched the ring from Wade's hand and threw it on the ground. "It's just a ring." "Fine, here you go. It's worthless. Not everyone is as obsessed with it as you. Take your damn ring and leave. Stop making a scene here." Sophia was hysterically yelling at me, and Wade just quietly watched her. I looked at the ring on the ground, feeling as if my heart was shattering. "Where is it? Where did you throw it?" I didn't even bother yelling at Sophia, scrambling to feel around on the floor. Fortunately, I found it by the corner of the table. If not, I thought I would lose my mind. I looked at the dust on the ring, feeling as though my heart had also been covered in dirt. I trembled as I brushed the dust off and didn't hesitate to slap Sophia again. As I was about to continue, Wade grabbed my hand. "Lucy, enough. Coming to the hospital for a ring? Have you no shame?" Hearing Wade's rebuke, I felt as if my heart had shattered. I couldn't stop myself from crying. My sobs turned into loud wails. Wade seemed to soften a little. "Stop crying. I'll buy you a better ring." He still didn't understand. It wasn't about the ring at all. I cried and laughed at the same time. It was a bitter laugh. "Wade, do you know? I can't wait anymore. I don't have time to wait for your ring, and I don't have time to wait for you to change your mind. Do you know I'm dying?" The doctor had told me not to get too emotional. I shouted those words through gritted teeth, feeling everything around me go dark. Then my body went limp, and I passed out. Before I fainted, the last thing I heard was Wade panicking, shouting for help. "Doctor, where is the doctor? Someone, come quickly." I felt like Wade was holding me. "Lucy, what do you mean? What do you mean you're dying? I won't allow it. I won't allow it." The doctors and Wade told me that if I had kept resting, I could have made it until next summer. But now, it was too late. The long period of depression had crushed my will to live, and I probably wouldn't make it much longer. Depressed? How could she be depressed? Doctor, please save her. I beg you, save her. I couldn't help but laugh. How could I not be depressed? When I learned that my parents had died, I knew I wasn't normal anymore. Those 3 years abroad, I held on only because I thought Wade was waiting for me. But now Wade no longer cared for me. I was ready to leave, to join my parents who would always love me. Wade sought countless doctors, constantly transferring me from one hospital to another. I didn't want to talk, and no one could stop him from going through with it. Until my only friend, Luna, arrived. Luna was the only one who stayed in touch with me after my family went bankrupt. She told me that no matter what happened to my family, I was still her forever good friend. Luna looked at me lying in the bed, weak and frail, and immediately slapped Wade across the face. Pointing at him, she started yelling. Do you know why she left? Where she went after leaving? You don't care about her at all. Wade immediately rebutted her. I do care about Lucy, I love her more than anyone else. Then how come you didn't even know how serious her condition was? And now you're still fooling around with that Sophia? That sentence left Wade speechless. He didn't answer for a long time and finally spoke in a hoarse voice. I didn't know. I didn't know Lucy was this bad. Didn't know? So you're treating her like this? Luna's voice cracked as she started crying. Enough, Jing. I mustered all my strength to stop Luna and shook my head. By this point, there was nothing left to say. After Luna left, Wade kneeled by my side. Lucy, let's get married, okay? Right now. Please, don't give up. Before he could finish, Wade lowered his head and cried. Lucy, we've been together for so many years. What do I do without you? I can't lose you. Watching Wade cry uncontrollably, I felt no emotion at all. Maybe the heart of someone who's about to die had already died long ago. Why didn't you tell me earlier? After he finished crying, Wade asked me. I didn't want you to worry at first and later. It's because I realized that without me you can still live fine. I calmly answered Wade's question. It's not true, it's not true. I can't live without you. Lucy, please stay alive. I saw the pleading look in Wade's eyes. It suddenly reminded me of many years ago, when he had looked at me with those same eyes. Please give me a chance. I'll be the best boyfriend for you. I really wanted to answer him the same way I did back then, but I knew things weren't the same anymore. When I was abroad, alone and frightened, undergoing endless treatments, and worrying that I might never see the next sunrise, Sophia appeared by Wade's side. She was younger, more understanding, and knew how to spoil Wade, while I had already become a shadow in his heart. That's why Wade didn't care anymore, and didn't bother to inquire about my condition. During my agony, he was out there partying with his new love. I knew my body, I wouldn't live long. During the month I was unconscious, Wade canceled all his work and stayed at the hospital with me. He said he didn't trust anyone else. Luna came many times, but when she tried to help me, Wade wouldn't let her. He took care of everything related to me himself, as he had said. Luna watched Wade's actions with tears in her eyes, cursing. Now you're putting on an act. Where were you when she was dying? Finally, after many failed attempts to stop my nosebleed, Wade knelt down and begged the heavens. Perhaps his prayers moved the heavens. My nosebleed stopped. My spirit slowly faded just like my life. One day, Wade took me out of the hospital. It was the first time in a month that I left the hospital. He brought me to a bridal shop. Lucy, we won't wait any longer. Let's get married today. I looked at the dreamy wedding dresses in the glass window and, by some strange impulse, said, okay. I tried on the dress I had always dreamed of wearing. It's so ugly, I said, staring at my reflection in the mirror. Indeed, I looked so haggard and ugly from being sick. I didn't look like myself at all. Where is it ugly? You're just as beautiful as always. In my eyes, you've always been this beautiful. Wade, in a matching suit, held my hand as if he was holding the most precious thing in the world. Wade took out a diamond ring. This should have been yours long ago. I designed it myself when we first got together. It was truly beautiful. Wade trembled as he put the ring on my finger. I wore the ring, but my finger was too thin. No matter which finger, it was too big. Wade drove me, heading to the civil registry office. We'll soon be a real family, Wade said happily, glancing at me in the passenger seat. I forced a smile, enduring the pain in my body, and replied to him. As I closed my eyes for the last time, I saw Wade smile. His lips curved up in joy. Wade. This time, it's really goodbye. It's just a pity in the end I couldn't marry you.